you concerned about Tatum, though, John? It sounds like you are.
No, I'm not. I find that I find like he's searching a little too long to figure out what he's supposed to be doing sometimes.
I'm a little concerned if you're not, John. I am. I'm concerned.
So that always bugs me a tad, is like, it feels like people are disagreeing here in the chat and saying it's just the missed threes. I don't think so. I thought he had to really work to get shots. They weren't comfortable shots. It wasn't just missing. Even his drives were a little forced. He's not. I think he's just jamming it through sometimes rather than, and then there's other times where he makes a good decision and overpowers somebody and this and that. But I think he's just waiting for it. And then instead of doing things in the flow, just deciding later, like, well, I didn't take a lot of shots, so now I'm going to see if I can get it going a little bit. It just feels like his choices of when to assert himself versus when not are a little bit off, and some stuff feels a little forced. He didn't feel like he was in the flow tonight, whereas I felt like the offense was flowing a little bit, and then Tatum would try to kind of figure out what it is I'm supposed to be doing here tonight. And that's what, because you're going to need it. You're going to need it. You're going to need it. I've always said it just, everything felt a tick slow for him. Like, I don't know. That's how he felt all night to me. Like he just wasn't. You look at and you're not going to compare Brown and Tatum's athleticism. Brown plays with more pace, more physicality, more aggression. He's certainly more assertive. But yeah, I just felt he was just offensively just out of sync all night. But he did some other things. I thought he played, decent, defense. Some people are saying he's injured, but let's just call it what it is. It's like, he doesn't look like a top 5 player. He didn't look like a top 5 player.
No, he doesn't.
And I've seen a little bit, and it's not just the physical stuff. I think he's a tad off just making that decision and what he wants to do here. Because I think inside he's like, is this the time I'm going to get it and do my thing? Or instead of just kind of letting things flow. So he's searching a little bit. He's a beat slow. Whether people think he's injured or not, I'm not really sure.
He's not, but John, to your point, he's not moving as fluidly as we're used to. His dribble drives to the paint don't look as sharp and crisp.
He's not getting there as quickly.
Yeah. And he's not, going to the post up where he leans on his footwork when he got the smaller guy. I think the ankle's bothering him a little bit. I don't think it's bothering him to the point where he's going to miss games or it's seriously hurting. I think that it's more a discomfort thing because the way he's playing, he looks like a guy who's just not comfortable out there. And the only thing that logically makes sense is that ankle is giving him a little bit of discomfort, but he's able to play through it nonetheless. He's just not able to play the way we're accustomed to seeing him play. And that may explain why, Jaylen Brown comes out super aggressive, because he knows his running mate is going to have to kind of work his way into the game a little bit, whereas he doesn't have to, Jaylen.
Testing my skills on Prize Picks this season is the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. Use the code CLNS for the first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Yeah, people seem to be fairly certain it's the ankle. I don't know, Jimmy, are we being too harsh?
I think it depends. Like, how high do you hold this guy up? I mean, if you think he's a top 5 MVP caliber player, then obviously he's not playing like one like now on the offensive end. I think fans who are saying we're being too harsh are maybe saying that we're not probably respecting what he's doing aside from scoring, which would be, I guess, his facilitating, his defense. I mean, again, they're winning so handedly that it feels like it's hard to criticize too much, because he's obviously contributing to what they're doing on the court. They win by 25 points tonight. He's not going to take it upon himself to try to get himself going in the middle of the Celtics, going on a run, going up 10, 12, 15, whatever it is. He's going to play within the game. Like I said, some players are going to have a little bit more leeway in making it about them and putting themselves first. Celtics team's not built like that. So if you don't have it going early on, that might just not be your night. They're going to ride the hot hand. And tonight it was Brown and Derek White.
Which is great.
Game two could be a completely different story. Brown could be cold and Jayson Tatum takes over, or freaking, maybe Holiday does something on offense for once. But
game Tatum. Yep, it's going to be Tatum's game.
But I like the fact that Tatum has figured out how to impact games without necessarily having a good shooting night. Because remember, early in his career, if he wasn't getting buckets, he was useless out there to your team. Just wasn't giving you anything. And now, he has a rough night shooting the ball. Regardless of whether it's the ankle or not, he's still figuring out ways to impact winning. His rebounding, I thought his defense was pretty solid tonight. And just getting others involved. Even when he was making the assist, and then there was the hockey assist, and then there's Joe Mazzulla's favorite category, the potential assist. Let's not forget about the potential assist out there. So it wasn't a great Tatum game, but to me, when you're as good as he is, if you can have nights where you're off but still be serviceable, you'll take that. And this was a serviceable Tatum game.
You know what it is, guys? It's very simple. People are seeing what's going on in Minnesota with Anthony Edwards. People are seeing what's going on in New York with Jalen Brunson. People already know what, Jamal Murray did last series and what Jokic can do. And they want to see Tatum do that. Okay. That's pretty much what it is. I say I'm generalizing, but the people who are maybe critical of Tatum want to see those types of games. They want to see Tatum go 4 games in a row and score 40 like Brunson did. They want to see Anthony Edwards. They want to see a type of performance that Anthony Edwards put in against the Suns and got in, got in the players' faces in Phoenix. And now they're up 2-0 against Denver. They see what's going on across the league and they say, hey, Tatum can do that, right, guys? Tatum's a top 5, right? He's in that category, right? Now you're starting to wonder, is he? So that's what's kind of, I feel like, maybe happening to some Celtics fans. John, I don't know if you heard what I said there, if you agree or not, but sure, what do you think?
Jimmy, you're right. I mean, there's definitely some of that going on. But again, I come back to the fact that Tatum has figured out how to impact winning without scoring. He's figured out a way to be a guy that can contribute to his team's success and not have to be the one carrying the load to do that. If Brunson plays poorly, if Donovan Mitchell plays poorly, their teams have no shot.
They lose.
No shot. They have no shot. Tatum can go 4 for 19 or 6 for 19, whatever he was tonight.
That's always
been
the thing.
And they win by freaking 25 points. Yeah.
That's the thing. It's again, and you're out Porzingis, and you can still live with that. It's going to be
right. The guy that you brought in to help you get over the hump. You don't use him, and you still win by 25.
Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets at Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use the code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code CLNS and get $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed.